You've just cleared customs at Kuala Lumpur International Airport, and you need to get into the city. Standing in the arrivals hall, you have a lot of options in front of you. The geography creates the first challenge. Kuala Lumpur International Airport is 57 kilometers south of the city center. Your destination is usually either the KL Central Transit Hub or Bukit Bintang. These are distinct areas separated by dense urban traffic. Covering that distance with the wrong transport mode can cost you an hour of wasted time, double your budget, or leave you dragging heavy luggage. In 2026, you have 4 main ways to make this trip: the Premium Express train, e-hailing apps like Grab, fixed-fare airport taxis, and budget buses. Travelers always ask which one is the best. The truth is, there is no single best option that works for everyone. Finding the optimal ride is an equation. You have to calculate it based on 3 variables: the size of your group, your budget, and exactly where your hotel is located. Before looking at prices, you must account for the last-mile penalty, the friction of getting from a central drop-off station to your actual hotel lobby. An international flight leaves you exhausted. The last thing you want to do with 2 heavy suitcases is navigate a busy transit hub, buy another set of local train tickets, and squeeze onto a commuter carriage. Your transfer is only as fast as its weakest link. Because of that last-mile friction, door-to-door convenience often matters more than highway speed. Let's look at the premium speed tier, the KLIA Express. A standard adult one-way ticket is 59 ringgit at the counter, or 55 ringgit if you buy it online or through their app. For that price, you get a predictable, air-conditioned ride that takes 28 minutes from Terminal 1 and 33 minutes from Terminal 2. Because it runs on a dedicated rail link, the Express is completely immune to the unpredictable road congestion that plagues the Klang Valley. But the major trade-off is the route. The Express only goes to one place. It terminates at KL Central. Reaching hotels in Bukit Bintang requires an additional transfer to the MRT or the monorail to finish the trip. The train also exposes a flaw in group economics. Because the ticket price is fixed per person, the costs multiply quickly. This chart breaks down the math. 4 individual train tickets will cost a family $236 total. That is significantly more expensive than paying for a single, private vehicle that can hold everyone. The train is an excellent choice for a solo traveler, but for groups heading beyond KL Central, it becomes an expensive logistical hurdle. That brings us to the convenience tier: e-hailing apps like Grab and fixed-fare airport coupon taxis. Depending on the size of the vehicle you need and current demand, you can expect to pay anywhere from 70 ringgit to 130 ringgit per car. Coupon taxis give you a fixed fare upfront, while Grab relies on algorithmic pricing. The primary benefit here is zero-friction travel. You put your bags in the trunk at the airport, and you don't touch them again until you are standing in your hotel lobby. And for groups, splitting the cost of a single vehicle is a massive advantage. Looking at this chart, you can see how a larger 6-seater Grab costing 110 ringgits works out to just $27.50 per person when split 4 ways. That's less than half the price of a single train ticket, and you get direct service. The vulnerability of this method is the asphalt itself. Kuala Lumpur's highway infrastructure is notorious for heavy congestion. If you land during the morning rush hour between 6 and 9 a.m., or the evening rush between 4 and 7 p.m., a standard 50-minute drive can easily stretch to an hour and a half or more. E-hailing apps also apply surge pricing if a rainstorm rolls in, or if there's a shortage of drivers in the airport queue. Cars offer unbeatable per-person value and absolute ease, provided you don't land during peak rush hour. Finally, we have the budget tier option. Airport coaches operate out of the transportation hub on level 1, with tickets running between RM13 and RM18. You save money, but you pay a massive time penalty. The bus takes 75 to 90 minutes to navigate traffic, and just like the train, it only drops you at KL Central or Pudo Central. The bus is a direct exchange of your time to save your money. It's really only viable for solo travelers on a strict budget who have completely open schedules. Now, we can move from the list of options to a specific framework that solves for your unique arrival. This flowchart shows how to break it down. Your first variable is group size. If you are traveling with 3 or more people, you should immediately choose a Grab or a taxi for the group economics. If you are traveling solo or as a duo, your next variable is arrival time. If you land during the weekday rush hour, take the KLIA Express to bypass the gridlock. If you land off-peak, look at your budget. A strict budget points you to the bus. Otherwise, you choose between the train and a car based on your final destination. If you are traveling for business and have a hard meeting time, prioritize the train. It is the only option with absolute speed and reliability. If you are managing a family with multiple bags, prioritize road transport. Keeping your group in one vehicle all the way to the hotel removes hours of stress. A final geographic rule: if your hotel is connected to KLIA Central, take the train. If your hotel is deep inside the dense, crowded streets of Bukit Bintang, take a car. Every trip into Kuala Lumpur requires a different solution, based on your group size, your arrival time, and your final destination.